All right, yesterday's video was about a 1 gigahertz VCO, and it was this circuit here, common base amplifier. I don't remember if I mentioned it yesterday, but I talked about the output of the wave resonator, a half-wave resonator being low impedance, and that matches the low impedance of the common base amplifier. The driving the emitter is very low impedance, and so having a low impedance over here is good. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a different Agilent circuit. These are in my way. Okay. So this is the VCO of a different model, and this is the one I'm having problems with, but it's more complicated, and so we're going to break it down. But it's a 1 transistor oscillator, and it has a resonant circuit over here, and the resonant circuit is based off of a SAW Resonator, surface acoustic wave resonator tuned with varactor diodes. Okay. So you can think of this as the L and this is the C, or however you want to think of it. But yeah, it is a resonant cavity, just like we had the 1/2 wavelength of coax being a resonant cavity. We have this SAW filter being the resonant cavity. And then the rest of it should be the same, right? Just have a common base, blah, 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 and it's not. It's quite different. So let's take a look at that. So the first thing we're going to talk about is biasing this transistor on. Remember, we had to bias the common base transistor on. And the way that we did that was with a negative voltage and a positive voltage. And so we have a negative 12 volts at the top here, minus 12 and a half volts. And it comes in and it biases this emitter junction here, emitter base junction. The emitter base junction goes down to ground with 825 ohms here. So that's the path. So let's take a look at how they do that. Okay, they're getting fancier. So they're going to use a current mirror. So they're going to set up a current over on this side, and they're going to mirror it over on this side, which goes into our transistor down here, okay? So we have minus 12 and a half volts, and we have 19.6 ohms, and we have 1.1 ohms tripled. So we have 1/3, about 300 ohms, 400 ohms down here. And so if you take 1.1K divided by 3 and add 19.6, subtract off the 0.2, 0.3 volts drop across here. Just for sake of discussion, it's about 30 milliamps, okay? We have about 30 milliamps through this leg, and then we're going to have mirrored over here, we're going to have about 30 milliamps through this leg, so that's going to go down here, and it's going to go into our transistor and bias it. So first of all, they've gotten fancy, and they put in a constant current source to bias the transistor on. All right. So that 300 milliamps comes down here and biases this transistor. So it comes through here. It goes through here. All right. So we're going to have resonant things over here, and it's going to be sort of like a common base. It's going to wiggle over here. We have it reversed biased, right? And instead of an output, instead of grounding the base and having output on the collector, we've grounded the collector and we're having an output on the base. So I'm not exactly sure what to call this circuit. Is it a common cathode circuit? Or is it some kind of weird common base circuit, but we're not using the output? The output just goes into ground. It just means that we're taking the output off of the base. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that's what this is. Down here is the tuning capacitors. This I've cut off part of the circuit here. Okay, so we have the tuning capacitors, and basically they go to ground this way, okay? All right, so we have an inductor here, we have an inductor here. So this is ground. So basically this is ground, and we're just adding a capacitance to the circuit over here. And there's also a ground over here, but there's an inductor as well. So there's the AC paths and DC paths you need to worry about. But in general rule is that we're using this variable capacitor, voltage-controlled variable capacitor, with a resonant cavity to tune this strange configuration, which I still don't quite get my head around. So comment below if you have seen this before and know what this thing is called. But basically we're pulling the signal off of the base, and then it's going to go this way. The signal's going to go that way. All right, so the signal goes that way, and then it goes into I'm not showing this very well, am I? All right. So our minus 12 volts comes in over here, okay? So basically this is minus 12.5 volts right here. Okay, so we just have a really stiff minus 12.5 volts here. And so we're just creating another bias point, another DC bias point. We're setting the base biasing through this path here and the path down from above. So it's biased really strange. Anyway, we're going to take this wiggle here, and we're going to send it down this way, and we're going to come here and we're going to divide it by 2, and then we're going to send it through a transmission line, and then we're going to amplify it and send it out, okay? And so this is a MMIC, an INA 52063, and it's biased on over here. All right, so let's take a look at it. Here's a picture of it. So I don't have the thing in front of me. So here's the picture of it. Here's the transistor that oscillates. This is the SAW filter, the thing that I originally thought was the VCO itself, but no, it's just a SAW filter. The varactor diodes are here and here. So there's 2 varactor diodes. The varactor control voltage is in the center here, and it comes in through buffered with a capacitor to ground, and then an inductor. And I've put a wire on it, so I have that wire going outside the instrument, so I can monitor this voltage to see how the phase-lock loop is operating, or if I want to inject a signal as well. Anyway, I've added that. So again, this is the oscillator. It has some fancy things on it that aren't really shown in the schematic well. There are some inductors drawn. This inductor and that inductor. These little hair wires here are these inductors. And then this little triangle here that has like little lines on it is right here. It's called PC capacitor, printed circuit capacitor. So yeah, there's a lot of RF magic in this one. I don't know who designed this, but he knew a bunch of tricks. So there's some inductors, there's some capacitors, yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff here. And then once you get this thing operating, I should just say that this and this are both the emitters, and this is the base, and this is the collector. No, emitter. This is the emitter. Wait a minute. No, I'm not. No, I'm questioning myself. We're coming in the emitter, right? Coming in the emitter. We're going to be grounding the base, which is here. So this is the collector, yeah. So this is the collector, it's grounded, this is ground. Collector is grounded. This is the emitter, 2 emitters, and this is the base. And we're taking it off the base, and there's this funny little capacitor hanging down there. Then, once you get it all said and done, you bring it over to this guy, and he is your amplifier. And you amplify it and send it out its merry way. This is just biasing for the amplifier, but it goes out somewhere. All right. Now that we've said all of that, there is another circuit that is on this, under this can, right? This is a cavity inside of the, not a cavity, but a shielded came on the board. And included here is this resistor right here, which, this resistor right here, which really, really confused me because it goes to that via and it goes to that via and doesn't go anywhere else. I later learned this is a 4-layer board, so it's very hard to reverse engineer this board because it's 4 layers and you can't see the internal stuff. But if you look at the reverse side of the board, it is this, okay? So this is the reverse side of the board. And you can see this really weird ring of resistors. And this ring of resistors is going to be the subject of another video.